What's up and welcome to my beginner's guide. I'm going to get right off the bat and give you guys what you're here for. You're here for the answer. What is the best way to progress to start the game in Skyforge? I'm going to tell you right now, hands down, best way you could possibly progress is first and foremost, the number one thing is each zone has a bastion at the end of each particular area in the provinces. As you progress further through the game, you'll unlock more and more bastions. These bastions have the ability to unlock symbols for your character, which you can access in your abilities section under symbols, and you can rotate between whichever symbols you choose. If you're just starting out, you will have none of these. You have to actually go out into the provinces and do quests for your bastions to level them up, to unlock the symbols. These symbols are hands down the number one most potent thing you could possibly get when first starting out in the game. Getting level 1 in each of these is very, very good. The next thing to do is make sure that you have always spent your knowledge to max out your Tower of Knowledge and max out your Cathedral. Spend. You literally will spend all of your knowledge and all of your credits on your Cathedral as much as you possibly can until it does not let you do it anymore, until it starts to require stimulants, until you are done with the storyline. As you're progressing through the provinces, it's pretty imperative that you want to have the highest possible prestige for yourself to be able to make it easier to progress faster through the story mode. As you go climb higher and higher, you will get to around 45 to 60 depending, and that's usually when you're going to beat the story mode, and that's basically your main goal here, is to pump it out. Now that that's out of the way, that is the answer. That's how you get started. That's the beginning guide. That's it. You don't need anything else after that. The big thing here is, like, a lot of people are going to look at this video. A lot of people are thinking about, like, starting playing the game. Should you play the game? What do you think about the game? I've heard bad things. There's a lot of bad things to be said about this game. A lot of glitches. People say it's pay to win. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm Prestige 159. I've put in over 2 weeks into this game now. And I will tell you for a fact that you cannot buy progress. After a certain point, you cannot buy progress. This game, as much as people say it is pay to win, I would say that it's not even pay to progress. It's pay for, like, convenience at certain times. It's pay for some shiny objects. That's about it for the most part. You can buy things, yes, but there's games that are, like, way bigger than this, that are way more pay to win, that are way less fun. I'm having a great time in this game. I definitely think you should try it and pick it up. You can obtain everything for free, and it's not that you eventually will obtain anything that you are looking for free. This game is 100% free to play, free to try, free to download. Once you make it past this story mode, it is a whole different game. Once you beat this stage right here, that's all you got to beat. It's a whole different game. You unlock a divine form where you can turn God. You can start to carry your friends. The big thing with this game is, like, it's a really, really in-depth end-game friend kind of based game where it's, like, about having a pantheon and working together as with teams. So if you guys are looking for a new game, if your friends are looking for a new game, pick this up. Once you beat the game, once you get out of there, the game completely changes. I did not understand much about the game when I first came into it. I probably put in a few too many dollars because I thought I had to. I thought this is what you needed. This is my buy-in to be able to play the game. I was not aware of the ways in the end game that I was able to farm. It puts you through a really long tutorial, but when you finally get through it, when you do beat it all, the game definitely changes. This game is very, very similar to games that I've played in the past. It even looks like games that I've played in the past. Like, I mean, this looks like a Summoner's War layout. Like, it pretty much is very similar to Summoner's War. It has a very, very good aspects to games like that, but it also has a lot of the downsides that games like that have. except they removed them. You know, like the game, those downsides are like gone. There's no like RNG 100% rare crates or anything like that, or like you can get all the classes, you can farm all the classes, you can farm all the content, you can get everything that you need to get in order to play the game and have fun. And there's nothing that you need to actually purchase. In fact, all the things that you really, really want, you cannot even purchase them. Like for faith, things to turn into a god, or like divine deeds to increase your god power, all the things that you need for PvP, you can't actually buy them. You have to actually go to places like the moon, or go out into the world and actually grind them and farm them and earn them, and then you can turn that into something like PvP oriented. So I really think this game definitely is looked upon in the wrong light. People see the early game where they don't have anything and they're weak and they didn't put the time and they didn't put the grind in. This game is a very, very big building up kind of game where you unlock more and more and more power over time. So they look at these end game players that have been playing for a long time and they don't really see the road. They don't see the path to get there without putting money in. But this game gives you a lot of free stuff. It gives you a lot of opportunity to just play to win. And I definitely think you should pick it up. But for the beginning part of the game, it is a struggle. If you don't know what you're doing, you will have a hard time. And first scenario is Bastions. Second priority would, right after you finish one bastion of every single, like when you unlock a new place, when you beat a province, if you go back to it and request quests, you'll check your quest list. You want to earn that symbol. That symbol, look at that. It deals extra damage for using a special weapon, and under certain conditions, it will also deal special damage or extra damage. This will deal extra damage as well. Every single symbol that you get, it's an extra skill per se, added onto all of your characters. And people look at this game and they're like, I don't have every character, I don't have these characters, I want to play this class, I want to play that class. When you beat the game, you really have to find one class. You gotta know which class you want to play. You will almost, the first day after you beat the game, you will almost be able to buy any class you want just by beating the tutorial, just by getting out of it. Play this game 2 days, get your class that you chose that you want, and you don't have to restart, you don't have to go back to the beginning or anything like that. You keep all your gear, all of your progress, everything. You can change classes on the fly whenever you want. I can switch from Revenant right here to Alchemist. I can switch from Alchemist right away, right after that cooldown. I can go right into Outlaw, and I could be a completely different class whenever I want to. And you can do that on the fly, which offers a lot of strategy with your team comps, especially when you're in divine form, because you have a 30-second cooldown, or even less than that, I think, to switch in between any class you want to. So you can pop cooldowns on other classes and then swap back into other classes, and then have your friends pop into that same class that you just popped a cooldown on, and they could come in and rotate these cooldowns. So the strategy and the callouts and the team play that's actually in this game at an end game level is actually insane. Not to mention that the content is so difficult. It's so difficult. It actually is so amazing, because I have not struggled in a game for so long. Just like working up against something, kiting it around, LOSing it at certain points, dodging certain mechanics. Your reflexes have to be like on point. It's like you're just taking down these Goliaths. It's so much fun. If you guys want to see some action combat, some stuff like that, come and check out my stream whenever you want. I'm streaming this game all the time, and I'm going to be playing it a lot, putting out a lot of guides. This is just the guide one. There's more to come. So hit that sub button if you haven't already, and check out my next content. Once you guys beat the game, you will kind of be in like a more of a mid-game area, right? So you did all these strategies that I told you to do. You know, you level up your bastions. It's not hard. It's really simple stuff. You got to the story mode. It might take you a day. It might take you 2 days. It might take you a week. We had some people, it took them a week, but For most of the guys, it only took 1 or 2 days. You can also have your friend actually queue up for each individual province in order for you that might be higher level than you, and as long as they have the full version unlocked, the warm-up version, that's going to be 178 warm-up. It has to be that. They have to have the dungeon or the game completed in order to help you out. No, your friend that just started and you just started, unfortunately, from what I know, you can't actually play together at this point. You can't help each other out. You can have somebody higher end that'll help you out, but you're going to get scaled up to 178, and your friend that's just starting out is going to have is going to be having a struggle. But it should be no problem, because the other guy's going to be, carrying everything. That's besides the point. As soon as you get out of the dungeon, the first thing is going to be equipment you're going to think about, right? You finally unlock the game and you want to get some gear. First things first, you go over here, you press K, and you go to adventures list. In here you might not see all of this, but what you're looking for is the group segment right here. And in here, every single dungeon that they have is a separate piece of gear. If you see that, every single one is a separate piece of gear. 8 for the pieces of gear, and then 1 for weapons and artifacts. Now, what you're going to want to do is queue up for these until you get purple gear. You want to get around 125 prestige, give or take. And when you get around this area, you'll unlock something that's called the equipment tutorial. And if you get to this stage, you can actually start to upgrade your gear. Now, I went ahead and upgraded my gear, and I haven't finished yet. I have a lot of grinding to do, but I've grinded my gear pretty far. And the thing is this game also has stat replacement. So I spent about 2 million credits today replacing my stats so I can get crit chance on almost everything, crit damage on almost everything, so I can be able to clear the content faster. But the thing is it re-rolls everything, and the way stat replacement works is you can lock or unlock different stats, and it costs more depending on which stats you want to re-roll. I'm not going to do it right now because I really like where my gear's at the moment. I do need to change it a little bit. I need to upgrade some of the percentages and see where I can bring it, but at the moment I don't want to really touch it too much because I'm only sitting on like 600k. I'm going to need that for my cathedral tomorrow to be able to upgrade it, because it is a daily kind of check-in game. This is like one of those games that you can play, for a few hours every single day, and eventually, you'll catch up with your friend that's playing all day every day for the last 3 years. Eventually, you'll catch up there and be able to play with him. Not just play with him, but play at his level. The thing about this game is it's so good because you can actually play with anyone. At any time, you get scaled up and you get scaled down depending on what zone you're in. And it's not like your friend's this amazing god, or the savage, unless he does turn into god form. In which in case, I've been carried by people that just got out of the story mode, and that was just today. Today, somebody who just got out of story mode, they turned god, did more damage than me, because that's kind of what the game is. It's about letting your friends have a chance to carry for a change. Even if you're ahead of them. I might be way ahead of somebody, but if I'm not god and they're god, they're gonna carry the dungeon. That's the thing about this game. It kind of gives it, the strategy where you can alternate your carry, or if you have somebody that's really really end game and it doesn't take much for them to go god because they've been playing for so long and they can just waste it whenever they want. They can carry you all day long if they want to. That's the point where you get to that super end late game. But that's besides the point. I digress. This game is definitely worth trying. It's on Steam. You can download it on Steam. It's free to play. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. I really want to see this game get bigger, get some success, get some help. It really needs some content creators right now, and that's where I feel like I can kind of lend in a helping hand, because it really needs somebody that can actually teach people how and where to go, what to do. The strategy of this game is really really cool. I've already thought of many different things that could be really really neat at end game, dealing with certain different stats that are completely wrong, but would totally work and be better in different scenarios. Like, nobody's really thinking about this game. Even though that this game has been out this long, nobody's really thinking about these exact things. I don't want to give too much detail because I don't have the ability to be like the first. I don't have the currency yet. I don't have the farming. I'm not at the end game where I can just throw away certain stuff and do these cool, weird builds that I want to do, that I have ideas to do in the future. But I'll definitely in the future do that sometime. I can see myself playing this game in a long-term scenario in the future, so I do highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. If you guys have any targeted questions, something that wasn't answered here, or if you guys have any ideas of what kind of content you would like for this game, please throw a comment below because I'll gladly throw it out there. I've learned a lot in the last 2 weeks, and I'm definitely going to start throwing out some content, throwing out some guides, throwing out some videos for you guys. But I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a good night. Take care. I'm going to leave you guys with this beautiful scenery here on the moon.